And here's what we know, whatever we're interested in, wherever we want to go with our lives, here's what we know: it's going to take discipline. It's going to take commitment. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take a single focus. It's going to take drive. It's going to take faith. It's going to take guts. And it's going to take an appreciation of the fact that it's hard. It's hard living your dream. It's hard changing your life. It's hard, ladies and gentlemen, just starting over again. I mean, just once you've been knocked out by life, once life has knocked the wind out of you, it's hard to pull yourself together and go back again. You feel empty inside. You feel like you don't have the strength. You don't have the energy to go back in the ring anymore. And just getting yourself together sometimes, that period when you are not yourself and you know it, and it appears like you can't do anything about it. I remember that because when it's hard, it takes its toll on you if you don't handle it right. And I remember my friends saying, Les, this is not you. I've never seen you like this before. You've always been active. You've always been involved in doing something. I was caught by surprise when my friends were talking to me. I could hear them, but I couldn't hear them. I couldn't process it. It seemed like I'd gotten to a point where I was afraid to try again, that I had been wiped out by life. It takes your spirit. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It takes your spirit. All right. And I've always been a fighter, but this time life got me. And so I know that it's hard, ladies and gentlemen, dealing with a lot of things in life. A lot of things will come up. Now, it's called this thing called life. So as you look at where you want to go, get ready. Some of us already have been there. Night before last, I got a call from a friend at 3 o'clock in the morning. She said, let me share something with you that I've just discovered I'm HIV positive. 30 years young. Life just beginning. Then yesterday I get a call. A young man I've been working with committed suicide. Wait, come on. He didn't even say anything. He didn't sound like anything was wrong. I know, Les, I'm sorry to tell you, but Bruce, he hung himself. Oh, come on. I know that life is challenging. Yes, I know that it's hard for a lot of people now. Yes, it is. And I think that we really need to prepare people for that. People need to be fortified. See, once you acknowledge that, when you get ready to do what you've got to do, once you take that into account, that it's not going to be a cakewalk, that you can't stroll to your goal. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. See, if we are armed with that kind of information, I think it gives you an edge, that you know it's going to be difficult. You know it's hard. So when you go, your preparation, your deliberateness, you go up in there. Because you know it's hard. That is the reason that you're going to go up in there. Why? Because when we seek the low road, when we seek the easy road, when we decide to go through life evading or avoiding things because they're hard, that's when we are really, literally evading our own greatness. See, you cannot discover yourself. You cannot discover the greatness that you have within you. You cannot begin to expose yourself to new parts of yourself, your talents, your skills, your abilities by going through life just trying to get by easily. It won't happen like that. You can't learn good horsemanship by riding a tame horse. No, that won't take place like that. An airplane has to have resistance from the air in order to fly. So in order for us to begin to do what we need to do, we need to embrace the fact that it's hard, not avoid it. You've got to fortify yourself and say, come on with it, I've got to step into it. See, Jack Davis didn't want to deal with life. He felt it was too hard to handle. So he was seeking relief, even if it was just for a little moment. Just right now, just a little relief. And he went on to an early grave, died of cirrhosis of the liver, seeking relief, avoiding dealing with the hard challenges of life. He never discovered who he was. The man had a lot of talent, a lot of ability. My friend who took his life didn't have to. He wanted to say, oh God, what is it? Internal Revenue Service, so what? Marital problems, so what? It's not worth giving up your life for. It's hard, but handle it. Take a stand. Anybody, it takes courage to live. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us are going to die anyway. So what if you step the date up? So what? It's no big deal. Handle this stuff. So I'm saying, when you know it's hard, as you look at where you want to go, here are some things you do so that the work you have to do does not overwhelm you. One is that some of us make it harder on ourselves because we don't plan. Oba used to have a saying, people don't plan to fail, but they fail to plan. So you look at your goal. Where do you want to go? Sure, it's possible. Yeah, absolutely. And it's necessary that you pursue it passionately, and it's on you. Yes. And you must have a plan of action. You need a blueprint. What are you going to do? What kind of resources are you going to need? What are your long range and short range goals? Who is it that you need to bring into your circle to begin to look at this, to give you some assistance? What will it take on your part? What changes are going to be required? Why is this important to you? What drives you? Why do you want this? What will you do if your first plan of action doesn't work? What is your backup plan? And if that doesn't work, what will you do then? See, a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, when they go after their dream, they try something and it doesn't work, they become discouraged and they stop. Or they end up just doing the same thing over and over and over again, making the same mistake over and over and over again, and unfortunately, looking for a different outcome. Somebody called that insanity. I agree. So what you want to do is look at it and don't feel like you're a failure because you're going to make some mistakes. Because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Sometimes you're going to feel stupid. You're going to feel dumb. I can tell you that. I've been there. You're going to make some mistakes and it's okay. You're going to run up against stuff that you won't understand. And some people are going to take advantage of you too. And that's a part of it. That's all of it. You're going to lose some relationships. That's hard, yes. That's hard too, and you've got to handle it. I'm saying to you, get a plan of action. You work. You get your roadmap so you know where you're going and what you've got to do. Take the time to engage in some thinking, because people don't think. You can have a great idea, but if you don't have an effective plan of action to go after your idea, you can blow it. I know many speakers who have far more talent, ability, and skills, but they don't have a business plan. They don't have a plan of action that can take them to their dream. So they get out there and they flutter around in the same arena. And they end up stopping not because there's no income to be earned, but because they have not taken the time to create a plan of action. You must have a game plan for your life. Most people don't have that. The Mastermind Journal is an instrument. The Mastermind Goal Achievement Journal is a good tool to use to see where you are, to write your ideas down, to brainstorm. Every day I would get up and write down my ideas. When I tried something and it didn't work, I would record what worked and what didn't work. We've got to start thinking. We don't think, ladies and gentlemen. When you run up against a roadblock, just look at it as a project. What is this telling me? If you work with it long enough, it will reveal its secrets to you. Become challenged and excited about that it's not meant to stop you. You've got more inside you than you can ever begin to realize. You have power within you. When you have your plan of action, I suggest that if you're just starting out on a particular goal, give yourself a 3 to 5 year perspective. I'm ending my 5th year and going into my 6th year before I even look for results. Why? See, we live in a time, ladies and gentlemen, where people want instant gratification. They want it right now. They want a quick fix. They have these real complicated programs on television, and within 30 minutes, with a few commercials here and there, everything is solved. Wow, we want it fast yesterday, but it's not like that. You know, there's a tree called the Chinese bamboo tree. In the Far East, for 4 years, every day they water and fertilize the ground, and you don't see a thing. Then in the 5th year, the bamboo tree begins to show itself. It breaks through the ground, and in 5 weeks, it grows 90 feet. Now the question is, did the bamboo tree grow 90 feet in 5 weeks or in 5 years? 5 years, of course, you're right. But most people, ladies and gentlemen, don't realize that if at any point they had stopped watering it and fertilizing it, the tree would have died. And a lot of people become discouraged with their dreams, discouraged with their goals, discouraged with their ability to do the things they want to do because they don't see instant results. They don't see things happening right now, so they become impatient and walk away from their dream. A lot of people do that. No, you've got to have patience. You've got to know your time is going to come. You've got to know that as you are working diligently, meticulously, people might walk by and not see what you're doing. And that's okay. It doesn't matter that they don't see it. What matters is that you see it and you are anxiously awaiting its arrival. Like Picasso, he knew when he looked at that big boulder, there was an angel in there waiting to be revealed. I'm going to get to it. That's how you've got to look at your dream. You're going to get to it. Most people don't have vision, ladies and gentlemen. Most people look at things just the way they are. They judge according to appearances. No, you've got to have faith. You've got to have vision. You've got to know it's there. As you're working diligently every day things aren't working out right. That's okay. Just keep coming back, keep going back to the huddle, coming back again. People will look at you and say, hey, why don't you stop? Why don't you try something else? They used to tell me that. Why don't you try something else, Les? Come on, man, look how long you've been doing this. You've never done this before. Come on, give yourself a break. Who's going to pay you that kind of money? You think these people are crazy? No, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. This is my calling. I've got to do this. It would be great if you supported me, but if you don't, that's okay. So you've got to stick to your stuff, because people will convince you to give up on what you want to do. You'll convince yourself because it doesn't happen right now. During those times, you've got to hang on in there. You've got to know that as you have patience, as you continue to plan your work and work your plan your work and work your plan, and don't even look up, let me tell you what happens. You'll have a major breakthrough. You want to make your goal happen? You've got to work hard. You know who has the highest academic achievements in our school systems in the United States of America? Asian kids. Is it because they're genetically superior? No, they did a study. You know what they found out? They work hard. When our kids take the weekend to party, their kids take the time to go to the library. You've got to do everything you can to make it work. Students who want to improve their grades work hard, and you'll get better grades. People who have a talent or a skill practice. Look at how you're spending your time. Spend your time working on your stuff, so when the time comes for you to step up to bat, you're ready. Decide, I'm going to look at how I'm spending my time, because how you spend your time says who you are. What is the center of your life? How much time do you spend working on your dream? How much time do you spend researching it, looking at it, finding out what's happening in the marketplace, seeing what the competition is doing, thinking about how it will be done 5 years from now, 10 years from now? We've got to start thinking ahead, projecting ourselves forward. How will this be done differently? Replace yourself. Use communication technology, video training, everyone is doing it. If we don't challenge ourselves to think, if we don't stretch ourselves, if we don't ask, what do I need to be doing? And keep going until we force a breakthrough, we'll stay stuck. Stay in experiences that create a shift in your consciousness. When it happens, something happens to you, ideas start flying everywhere. And you've got to have people around you on that level. Some people will bring your energy level down, bring your thinking down. You want people that build you up, that you can really flow with, people whose vibrations are positive. Yes, work hard, develop yourself, develop your plan of action, have a backup plan. You know where you want to go and what you want to do. Be flexible, be an innovator, be creative, take it to another level where it's never been done before. So I'm saying, when life happens to you, and it's going to happen, don't let it intimidate you. We're all going to experience some hard knocks in life. That can deplete your spirit, your energy, and just take your courage. And we just have to dig deep. During those times, you've got to dig deep within yourself and know that you have what is required to pull through. And here's one other thing that I think is important. At some point, you have to admit to yourself and face it, saying, hey, it's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard, and it's okay. See, you've got to make it okay. If you don't make it okay, it will use you. It will wear you out. See, when you're going through a challenge, ladies and gentlemen, when life puts a good whipping on you, if you're going through a major challenge right now, it's an opportunity for you to grow. See, the harder the challenge, the greater the growth. Let me tell you something else. The universe does not bring great challenges and does not make it hard for wimps or chumps. If you've got real hard challenges, the universe has respect for you. You're going to be faced with a series of opposition, all kinds of obstacles in your path, all kinds of hurdles you're going to have to overcome. But as you do that, the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. As you go through that, when you come through, ladies and gentlemen, when you come through that valley, when you come through that fight, there will be a look in your eyes, and everybody will know this is a different person here. Because of what you become in the process, if you hang in there, what you become as a person, the kind of spiritual growth, the personal growth, the kind of commitment, the kind of things that you have within you now showing and revealing themselves. You would not have known were there had you not gone through this. Here's something about life. If you don't have enough insight or courage to move on when you've outgrown a position and you don't know it and you don't move on to where you're supposed to go to another level, I believe, if you're worthy, life will move on you and make you go. Go pursue your greatness. See, people who are choosing their future, these are people saying, wait a minute, life doesn't have to move on me. Or these are people that life has moved on and they said, hey, okay, if this is what I have to do, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it. That takes us to the next step. If there's something you're facing, some decision you've got to make, something you're handling and it's very difficult, very challenging, here's what I'm suggesting. Face the fact that it's hard and go through with it. Do what you've got to do. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, it will make you cry. Sometimes it will hurt deep inside. A man once said, in times of adversity, you don't have an obstacle to deal with. You have a choice to make. That's what you have to do. When it's hard, you have a choice to make. If you can't pick the people up in your life, for God's sake, don't let them take you down. Circumstances, sometimes you have to move to another town. Sometimes you've got to take some chances. Sometimes you've got to move and you don't even know where you're going, but you've got to go. Where are you going? I don't know. It's hard changing directions. It's hard deciding to go back to school when you've been out of the classroom for years, sitting around with kids young enough to be your grandchildren. It's hard starting over again, learning a new career. That's hard. A lady I know wanted to be a lawyer for years, but she got married, had children, and all that interrupted her schedule. A friend of hers said, look here, now that you're divorced and your children will be leaving home soon, why don't you go back to law school? Oh no, she said. It takes 8 years. That's too long. 8 years from now, I'll be 38. Her friend looked at her and said, well, how old will you be in 8 years if you don't go to law school? She thought about it, and she went. See, you've got to look at your life and say, wait a minute, I've got some time left here, and with what I've got, I'm coming out here. Whatever I have to face, whatever challenges I've got to take on, whatever opportunities I want to capitalize on, I am willing to do that. It's hard. So what? I've got to do it. I know it's hard. See, a lot of people think that the fact that it's hard should discourage them, and they go back. They turn around because that's how most people have been programmed to do the easy stuff. No, no, no. You want the stuff that's challenging, the stuff that will make you stretch. The things, the adventures in life, that will introduce you to yourself, a part of you that you don't even know right now. Because there's more in you. And you know it. You can feel it. This cannot just be it. And so you want something that you can stretch out on 7 days a week, something that makes folks wonder why you've got that smile, that look, that walk. Because you know you're becoming the person you were meant to be.